Man rushes girlfriend to hospital to have quintuplets. Then he finds out she wasn't pregnant at all. All his life, Paul Servat had longed to have a family. The time to settle down with his soulmate, Barbara Bienvenue, was finally here. They were eager to spend the rest of their lives together. When his partner broke the news that she was expecting quintuplets, Paul was ecstatic that his dream of becoming a dad was about to pass. Well, it turns out that his joy was short-lived because when the delivery day came, Paul Servat got the shock of the century. Paul was the kind of guy that had it all: a well-paying job, great family, and loving friends. However, he felt a void in his life and signed up on a dating site to search for a mate. After going through several profiles, Barbara Bienvenue caught his eye. Barbara was 37 while Paul was 35, but the age difference didn't bother them. Paul was in love with her cheerful personality. Finding somebody that makes you laugh is not easy, so when you do, you don't let her go. Paul and Barbara were both from Quebec, and they met online during the summer of 2013. After a few weeks of chatting online, they decided to meet in person for coffee and a bite. They hit it off immediately, and their cute meetup blossomed into something that's beyond summer romance. Within a few days, they were ecstatically head over heels for each other. They longed for more than a few hours of company. Since it was clear that Paul and Barbara cared deeply for each other, the couple knew they had a future together. In barely a few months into the relationship, Paul and Barbara had a serious conversation. Barbara had positive news for Paul. She was expecting his baby. Paul was baffled and took a while to process the news. Once the news sank in, Paul had a big smile on his face. The future ahead seemed bright. Honestly, he couldn't have been happier. Weeks turned into months, and Barbara's belly was growing by the day. However, they noticed that her tummy was bigger than that of an average pregnant lady, so they went for a checkup at the doctor's office and were told that she was pregnant with twins. As Barbara continued going to appointments, the baby count increased from 2 babies to 4. After the final ultrasound, it was established that she was indeed carrying quintuplets. This meant they were expecting a whole basketball team. Paul was ecstatic to find out that they were pregnant with 5 babies and couldn't wait to tell his family the big news. His parents were supportive and were also looking forward to receiving their grandkids. It seemed like everything was falling into place and working well for the couple. Who would have imagined that meeting online would be followed by all these blessings? Everything happened so fast, it was clear that this was a case of fate. Paul and Barbara felt that they shouldn't keep the news from their friends, and they didn't hesitate to spread the word that they were expecting quintuplets. Their friends were excited about the couple and knew it would be challenging for them to afford to care for 5 children. That is why she launched a Facebook page that would act as a platform for Paul and Barbara to receive donations. The friends used professional and personal networks to get gifts for the couple. In no time, people started donating food, diapers, clothing, furniture, and other stuff for the quintuplets. It's not every day we encounter someone pregnant with 5 babies. Therefore, Barbara and Paul's story caught the community's eye. The entire Quebec was excited for the couple's upcoming babies. The story made it to a local paper and on many front-page article publications. Not only did the couple receive donations on the Facebook page, but the community started rallying for the unique pregnancy. Paul and Barbara had everyone's support, which was more than they expected. Just like Barbara's growing tummy, Paul's excitement over their upcoming babies was escalating. He was positive that they would get to the end of the pregnancy despite Barbara's mood swings and morning sickness. The father-to-be was patient and understanding throughout the experience. Together, the couple made a nursery for the quintuplets. They finished decorating the room, including putting in the 5 bassinets they had received from well-wishers. Now they were ready for the babies. Just like any other pregnant parents, the couple started brainstorming baby names. Besides, choosing baby names for 5 children is no easy feat. He came up with some ideas for baby names like Sebastian, Rosalie, Alexander, and Charles. The babies were due on February 22nd. Considering the complication of delivering 5 kids, doctors advised the couple to go for a cesarean section. Paul and Barbara settled for St. Justine in Canada as their hospital of delivery. They were looking forward to the glorious chapter of their lives together. Barbara's water broke at 34 weeks, a little while after she experienced intense stomach pains. Considering the countless pregnancy books the couple had read, Paul knew that pregnancy should last for about 37 weeks. He also knew that women who have multiple babies are likely to go into labor prematurely. Paul grabbed the hospital bag essentials and rushed his girlfriend to the hospital. They were both eager to fill the nursery with the 5 angels and add on to their family. The moment the couple had been waiting for was finally here. On the fateful Wednesday, Paul and Barbara rushed to St. Justine Hospital in Canada. They couldn't wait to hold their bundles of joy. The day they had been waiting for was finally here. On arriving at the hospital, Barbara was rushed to the delivery room. It was there that the couple was hoping to hold their 5 children for the first time. Unfortunately, what they received was terrible news. Barbara and Paul were not prepared for what was about to happen. On arrival at the hospital, Barbara had one last scan. The staff had some shocking news for the couple. A nurse called Paul aside and broke the news. It turns out that there wasn't any record of Barbara's pregnancy. The nurse showed him the blood test that confirmed Barbara was never pregnant from the onset. Paul was extremely distressed by the information. How come Barbara was never pregnant? None of this made sense to Paul. For the last 9 months, his girlfriend had shown all the signs of a pregnant woman. From gaining weight to lactation and morning sickness, everything pointed toward pregnancy. Could it be that Barbara had convinced herself that she was pregnant? Barbara might have had a condition known as phantom pregnancy or pseudocyesis. It occurs when women show symptoms of an actual pregnancy that even doctors can mistake for a real pregnancy. Was this the case, or had she lied about expecting babies? Paul was unaware of the truth at this point. He was devastated to find out that he wouldn't be receiving even 1 baby, let alone 5. He contacted the friend that had helped the couple set up the Facebook page. The friend narrates that Paul was crying when he called her. She says that Paul was confused and couldn't believe that he had been building upon a lie for all these months. His life had changed in the blink of an eye. He had lost everything and didn't know how to move forward. His hopes of becoming a loving dad to 5 kids were nothing more than a dream. To make matters worse, Paul now was required to return the donations the couple had received from well-wishers. A local policeman by the name Sergeant Luke Togus said that nobody had filed a criminal complaint yet. Sergeant Luke explained that while there are monetary losses, they cannot charge the couple because Paul is returning the donation. He said that once Paul returned everything and Barbara was established to have a mental illness, he would expect that the well-wishers would let go. When the friend received the call from Paul, she updated on the Facebook donations page about the phantom pregnancy. She assured everyone that they would be sending back the gifts so that the well-wishers can send them to other worthy causes. During an interview on the QMI agency, Paul defended himself, saying that he was a good man and had nothing to do with the lies. He couldn't understand why someone he loved deeply would make a fool out of him. What Paul didn't know was that more surprises were on the way. After the entire ordeal, Barbara stayed in the hospital and underwent a psychological evaluation. After a few tests, she started receiving psychiatric care. It was evident that Barbara was suffering from a mental-related condition. According to CTV News, Paul said that he had broken up with Barbara. The entire community was in shock after discovering the Quintuplets story was a lie. They couldn't believe that Barbara was not pregnant at all. The town was eager to welcome a set of quintuplets, and, sadly, their hopes were crushed. Doctors suspected that Barbara had experienced phantom pregnancy. The condition occurs when a woman displays the symptoms of pregnancy because she has a strong desire to be pregnant. The symptoms include missing periods, weight gain, morning sickness, and the perception of fetal movements. Barbara showed many of these symptoms during her pregnancy. What Paul couldn't understand was whether his girlfriend made this up or she was a rare case of phantom pregnancy. When the story exploded, more facts about Barbara started coming up. QMI interviewed her previous boyfriend, and he talked about how Barbara had made him believe that she was pregnant with twins, while she wasn't. The boyfriend explained how Barbara took extreme measures to raise money for non-existent babies. Barbara's relatives confessed that this wasn't the first time their kin was claiming to be pregnant while she wasn't. However, they didn't think she would do it again because every time it ended badly. The family revealed that Barbara once claimed to have leukemia, among many other false afflictions. Barbara did not only fool her boyfriend, but she also made fun of the entire Quebec community, who gave her countless donations. Genevieve Laflamme was from the district, and she had given birth to triplets when she heard about Barbara's story. Genevieve befriended Barbara because she wanted to help a fellow mom that was expecting multiple babies. Miss Laflamme gave her tips on how to handle the pregnancy. She even told her where she could receive financial support and sponsors for diapers and other essentials. However, Genevieve Laflamme admits that she realized a few strange things. As Barbara and Genevieve's friendship grew stronger, she noticed that Barbara's ultrasounds picked up on the quintuplets quite late. She found this odd because doctors picked up on such things early in the pregnancy. Genevieve couldn't comprehend how come Barbara didn't feel the need to rest during her final trimester. Genevieve revealed these things to Paul after the news broke out. The two continued to look for clues that would bring the truth closer. For instance, how come Paul never accompanied Barbara to the doctor's checkups? Also, why did the baby's count get to 5 with every checkup? Every discussion brought the truth closer. Before they knew it, evidence pointing toward Barbara faking the pregnancy was piling up. Paul admitted that he never met the family. During an interview with QMI Agency, Barbara's relatives said that she had cut ties with them in the past months. Considering what she was up to, it was clear that Barbara didn't want her relatives to find out she was playing her favorite game. Barbara's family was glad that she was getting psychiatric care. Paul loved Barbara a lot, but there was no way he was going to trust her enough to start a new life together. Paul remained a good man through the entire experience and continued returning the donations. After returning all the gifts, Paul now lives a quiet life by himself. All Paul wants is to move on with his life. He wants to get over the hurt that Barbara put him through. Everyone agreed that they shouldn't blame Paul. We wish him all the happiness that life has to offer.